seem to have a misplaced my lighter. How does that work? There we go. There we go. Green eggs. Okay, here we go. That's what we're looking for. DJ Store. Okay, I'll definitely check that out, man. Definitely check that out. A lot of domestic terrorism going on, man. And a lot of people fucking representing the flag they don't know anything about. I mean, history should tell them. The whole history of that fucking flag should tell them, but they're just fucking brainwashed into believing that this is not a third world country. This is pretty much a soft ass third world country where they give you the illusion of freedom. The freedoms they give you, excuse me, it's legitimate. The freedoms they tell you have out here are more of a entrapment. They're really not freedoms that you have, but they're like booby traps that they set out there for you. So if you're for that freedom, then they can lock you in their fucking bullshit system and label you an enemy and do as they will. Yeah, my other channel, bro, they locked me out of my other channel because I had got up to like 5,000 or something like that. If you go check my nappy, not this one, this is Call Me Nappy Targeted Individual, but my Nappy Head Roots channel, they locked me out of that. They switched my password on me, and I had to fucking make this channel. You know, and for me, it's not really the numbers. It's not really the numbers, man, because, you know, it's the importance of getting the message out. So if I only got 600 whatever subscribers on this channel, then, you know, that's 629 people or however many people that, you know, they're getting the message, minus the fucking cops and fucking all the other fucking piece of shit motherfuckers that tune in. But, you know, they're not the important ones. The important ones are fucking the ones that don't know and want to know. You know, a lot of motherfuckers just subscribe because they think this shit is fucking, it's entertainment and shit. Something to do, something to write some bullshit comment, troll. They want to troll and all this fucking weird shit. But yeah, those aren't the important ones, man. real important ones are the ones that don't even know what they're going through right now. The ones that might commit suicide tomorrow because they think their family switched up on them, or they really think they're going crazy and shit. Like, you know. You a real T.I. I appreciate that, man. Definitely. Seven. Excuse me. That's legitimate. Yeah, it's going on 12 now. You know, it's crazy, man, because time just flies by, man. Every time I think about how long I've actually been going through this program, you know, I wonder, because I know, like, in jail, like, it would seem forever. Like, yeah, in jail, like, it would seem like forever. 11 fucking years, man. But this shit, it just, like, blew in the wind. Like, it's like it just snatched a whole 11 years of my life away. Like I'm these people got me 7 years behind time. 11 years behind time and shit, so. This goofball right here with a little, yes, yeah, pretty much, I guess, huh? Everything was written, bro, so I guess it was always destined for us to be TIs, man. There is a purpose for us. I believe it's something, there's a deep, deep purpose, but, you know, I believe you know, the crazy thing is, if we all came together, like, we could stop this fucking program. We could literally fucking bring, like, but we have to fucking hit the streets, man. We have to, like, literally fucking get out here on the streets and pound the concrete and fucking, not necessarily burn shit up, man, but we need to fucking get our point out there and shit, you know? Oh yeah, definitely. It would be a lot worse, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would literally have to, like, I believe any TI, if you were to go to jail, you don't want to go to no PC. You don't want to go to no protective custody or none of that shit, because, you know, you're gonna be with a bunch of fucking, you're just gonna be with a bunch of fucking, oh man, pieces of shit, man. Straight up. Child molesters, rapists, fucking, you name it. The worst of the worst. You don't want to go with them. And you're not going to be able to go to no mainline and be able to do healthy time, because you're going to, you know, you already, as not a TI, have to sleep with one eye open, because you never know what's going to happen. But as a TI, you don't know what type of poison these fucking COs and these fucking agents are pouring in people's ears and shit. Like, you know, and it's real sneaky up in the prisons and jails. Like, people would pretend like they're your friends and shit, and get real close to you, next to you, and just fucking, you know, if you've been there, you know what happens, man. So, yeah, so you're just gonna have to punch, like, literally punch a motherfucker in the mouth as soon as they let you in the dorm or let you in the facility, and get put into solitary confinement. That way, that way you just do yourself. You be in your cell by yourself. They label you too dangerous to be with any other inmates and shit. Like, so that's what you would have to do, man. I recommend that for any TI that goes to prison or jail. You go in there. If you're not, you know, if you don't mind being with, it's not going to be safe on the main line, though. I mean, if it's solitary confinement mainline, yeah. But yeah, because the shit they tell people about us out here, if they were to tell people inside about that, if they were to tell people inside that shit, you know, some of that shit that is zero tolerance. Is no fuck. You get no tolerance for certain shit like child molestation, rape, and shit like. There's no tolerance for that shit. Nobody wants to be around nobody like that. Not in those places. And hell no. So you can, I mean, you can test your luck if you want. And it's crazy because out here on the streets it's the same way, but you can wiggle. You can wiggle because you got to think these people are spreading rumors. And it's no telling who those rumors reach. They're just fucking tapping people and pointing at you. Tapping people and pointing at you. Spilling garbage. Propaganda. Some of these people don't like what they talk about. Just think about somebody who just came home from prison, or, you know, maybe somebody who had their kid kidnapped and you know, abused and shit. Like, you know, all their fucking bullshit has to do is cross the wrong person at the right time. And that's your life. That's your fucking life. They sent the crazy lady at me. They sent the crazy lady at me saying I chopped her son up and loaded him in the back of my van. And they was doing that for a while, even after the episode. You know, I was stabbed. I was stabbed by this crazy lady, like literally, and not no fucking slash or no shit, like literally a butcher knife in my fucking stomach. Cause they sent the crazy lady at me, and fucking, I guess they told her I chopped her son up or some shit. Cause she came at me and she said, you know, she was really fucking persistent in trying to get me to open up the back of my. I had just got a van and shit, brand new, and she was really persistent. As I'm cleaning out and I'm setting it all up on the inside and shit. She's telling me I chopped her son up, and she was persistent on telling me to open up my van. She wants to see. And, you know, I'm putting her off. I'm like, oh, this is just a crazy lady they sent at me and shit, because she was talking to somebody in a one-headlight vehicle and shit. So I'm thinking she's just the average fucking perk playing her fucking games and shit. You know, telling me, my son's in the back of your van. And I'm like, lady, come on, man. And, like, you know, she's persistent. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to, you know, at this time, I'm really, how do you say? I'm really fucking paying attention to everything, because I know they're trying to entrap me and all types of shit. So I know they're sending women at me for me to get aggressive with the women, so the women can fucking call the fucking police and say I was fucking being aggressive and shit. And, you know, when they do that shit, you know, the police come immediately, and it's no telling if they're gonna lock you up or what. So I was real fucking skitsy on that shit. So, you know, I was trying to talk to her calm and shit. As I'm cleaning up the van, she's like, let me see in your van. And then she grabbed my shoulder, because I'm facing the inside of I'm on the driver's side, but I'm facing the inside of the van. I got my door open because I'm straightening up, you know, on the seat and all that shit. And so she grabs my fucking shoulder, and as I turn around, I'm like, lady, get the fuck off me. Like, I snatched my shoulder back. I'm like, lady, get the fuck off of me. And like, I turn around, and she plunged a fucking knife in my stomach. You feel me? And I was shocked. Like, you know, I didn't believe it and shit. I looked at the knife, And I looked at her. I looked at the knife again, and then I looked at her, and I said, "You stabbed me." And she looked at me, and she gave this fucking, it was like this wicked ass grin, man. And she told me to, yeah, and she said, "Die slow." And like, I snapped out of it. I snapped out of that shit, and I fucking, I hopped in the van, and I hit the gas hella fast all the way to the fucking gas station. Like, literally, like when they show that shit on the movies, how hella shit like flashes before your eyes and shit, like when the person's dying and shit, you see a bunch of like all the shit. I didn't see that shit, but I didn't see no visuals, but I had a lot of thoughts and shit, like all the shit that I didn't fucking, that I wasn't able to fucking complete, like my daughters and shit. I had a lot of fucking shit going there. Like I literally thought I was gonna die. And then fucking I got to the gas station, and I hopped out, and I had the knife fucking, the end of the fucking knife was hanging out my stomach and shit. And I get to the gas station and shit, and like nobody, it was crazy, man. Like nobody, it wasn't like nobody fucking, it was like nobody even gave a fuck. They were just all fucking looking at me. I'm like, "Can you call the ambulance?" As I'm walking, I'm like, "Can you call the ambulance? Can you call the ambulance?" I get inside the store. I tell the lady that's working at the store, "Can you call the nobody fucking offered to help or nothing, man." Like I get in the fucking store, and I asked and nobody was scared either. Like, some people that run away and be like screaming and shit. It wasn't like everybody was. It was just like, it was like a fucking show or some shit. Like people, like I was fucking entertainment to the fucking people. And I get into the fucking gas station, and the lady, I asked the lady, "Can you call the ambulance? I was stabbed." And the fucking lady said, "Get out, get out." I can laugh about it now because, I remember the looks on their faces and shit, and fucking, I'm living and shit. So it's like, and I feel like I've been through a lot worse since then and shit. So I can laugh about that now and shit. So the lady was like, get out now. There's a hospital down the street. Go to the hospital. Go to the I'm like, oh man, all these people are fucking a part of this shit, man. I'm like, this shit, like, hella shit was going through my mind, man. Hella shit. Like, I was like, man, if I survive this, I'm finna kill every single fucking perp I can fucking, like, that shit subsided hella fast and shit, but, just the fucking, I think that's what kept me alive and shit. I think that's just the anger and the confusion, all that shit mixed together and shit, and the thinking and the fucking, because I think normally a person would have passed out. I didn't pass out till I got outside of the fucking gas station and shit. Like, I was literally finna hop into my van and try and find a hospital and shit. Like, I knew I was gonna die. I knew I was gonna die, but I wasn't finna give up and shit, because I be hearing, you hear about that shit on the fucking news and shit, like, a person's been shot or a person's been fucking stabbed, and, they didn't necessarily die where it happened and shit. Like, they tried to get help and shit, and then they just died. Like, they died and they found them. And when they do the investigation, the investigators be like, okay, well, he got stabbed here. He tried to go get help, and he died here. This is where he died. And hella those stories were popping up in my head as well. Like, I was thinking about hella shit, man. But, I woke up in the back of the ambulance at the hospital. They shot that bullet. Whatever they shot up in me woke me up. That shit was crazy though. Yeah, man, 7 years is a long time, man. A year is a long time. 6 months in this program is a long time, man, because, you know, this is psychological warfare. All that psychological, they go up against psychological warfare in the army and boot camp when they're, you know, when they talk shit about their mom. They do all this fucking, they break them down and build them up. Like, they're not, they you know, basically they fucking create angry vessels and shit. Like, you know, they so-called toughen them up and shit. They break them down psychologically and build them back up with their bullshit. Like, that's what they're doing with us, man. Except they're not building us back up. They're just constantly breaking us back. They're breaking us down. Constantly breaking us down and breaking us down and breaking us down. You know, to the point to where, you know, we become helpless. Well, I don't want to say helpless, but in a way, it becomes helpless in some ways, and it leaves a person with nothing. You know, a person, you know, not everybody, but, you know, who knows, like, maybe everybody has their fucking moment when it's just, you know, they've had too much of this shit. You know, this system is strategically set. They know eventually, after all this, it's like Chinese fucking, you know, the water drop, where they fucking set you and on your back and tie you down and fucking let the water drip on your forehead and shit, drip by drip by drip, like, or the death by 1,000 cuts and shit. Like, you know, they know eventually all this nitpicking and all this fucking having all these store merchants fucking rip us off, or say their fucking vulgar shit, or, you know, they use everybody, and these little mom and pop shops, like, these are the ones that are like most, you know, they're most in danger when they participate in this shit, because you're set at a location. I mean, even the bigger stores, but nobody's gonna go into a Target and Ross and start, you know, and some of us may, like, look at the Kroger's incident, but, like, the mom and pop stores that participate in this shit, the money that you're getting to participate, the kickbacks, or whatever fucking bullshit these people are offering you is definitely not worth your life, because you're at a set location. Like, you're not moving anywhere, and you continually harass targeted individuals and shit, and you see it every day on the news. I don't think that Sacramento incident, or the way that they're trying to say shit happened as far as being gangs and, you know, a crowd of people and it was a fight, you know, unless that's a cover-up. Yeah, I don't think that might be a targeted individual incident, but, you know, the things that they fucking, all the other incidents and shit that have been with targeted individuals, you know, we've seen in less than a year's worth of time, targeted individuals flipping out. At least 3 to 4 fucking targeted individuals within a year's time have been broadcasted on the news for murdering somebody behind this fucking program. And you know, more so in the masses, not just, you know, more than one person. I think the little boy was probably the only one person that got killed. Everybody else, it was in more than one person, I believe. So, I mean, your little mom and pop stores that the police are, or the, you know, the police are putting you guys in fucking danger, man. Believe that. Your fucking police department, they're putting you in fucking danger. Because all it takes is for one of us to snap and be like, fuck it, we're not taking this shit no more. We're done with this shit. And I felt like that plenty of times until I've gotten out there. Like, I know I wouldn't have killed nobody and shit. But nobody, well, nobody knows where the fucking it's psychological warfare. So, you know, at times when I felt like, you know, doing something to one of these people, at the very least taking a D battery and chucking it at one of their fucking heads and going on from there, go from there. But, you know, physical assaulting people and shit, many a times I've thought about that shit, you know, and I fell victim to doing it at times and shit, to where, you know, I could have got, I'm not no tough person, I'm not no bully, I'm not no big person or none of that shit, and, you know, violence is the man, I want to live my fucking life, and violence isn't the way to fucking live your life on some, you know, you don't want to live your life on no, I mean, who wants to do that shit, man? I want to live my fucking life, but knowing that these people are trying to oppress me every step of the way, but every positive thing that you know, they pull a different character, that they're creating a different person within you. Like, you know, they're creating a person that you don't even know about. Like, you know, plus you probably got a lot of backed up trauma that you don't even know that you're fucking suffering from, like, because you've been fucking in your head call yourself being strong and shit, like, but you're not knowing that you got a lot of shit festering up from your past and shit that's still fucking with you, but you don't recognize it and shit. So all this added fucking bullshit trauma and bullshit that they're throwing on you and shit, like they're now they're adding something to that festering that you already got, and you know, they're creating a fucking monster and shit, and then they get on the fucking TV screen after you actually do something to one of them, and you know, they fucking mock you and shit and say, oh, this guy was a monster, this guy was, yeah, I'm okay, I might have been a monster, motherfucker, but it's a monster that you created. Why don't you let everybody know that? Why don't you let everybody know how you been fucking harassing motherfuckers with psychological warfare and shit? Don't just say that the motherfucker was a monster and shit, because he wanted to kill all those fucking people, or she wanted to kill all those fucking people if you weren't fucking throwing psychological warfare at them and shit. Like, you know, and these people, man, you know, there's a special place in hell for them, man. They get it, and you know, pretty soon people are gonna fucking wake up and see the shit that they're doing. They're gonna fucking actually be able to look on the fucking at all the fucking targeted individuals fucking channels and shit, and see the shit that they're doing, and fucking come to their fucking common senses and see, like, this is psychological warfare, you know, and there's nothing that you can do to prevent what's gonna happen. Like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen, and more people are gonna die. That's why I heavily promote and let people know more people are gonna die. More people will be murdered, and I stress that shit because it's gonna happen. It's gonna start because more and more people are becoming targeted individuals. More and more people are becoming targeted individuals. Like, these people are so fucking bold and so fucking greedy. They're so fucking greedy that, you know, they're gonna consume a large part of the population up with this shit, and a large part of the you see, as soon as a targeted individual does something, or they do anything with guns, the fucking people, that's what you look for on this shit. The two things, like that's exactly what they did yesterday, or with the Sacramento incident. The mayors get on the fucking TV and start talking about taking away people's guns and shit immediately, right after it happens. Now you gotta think, targeted, they know more people are gonna die. Targeted individuals. No, you know, nobody wants to get up close to nobody with a knife and shit. Not too many people. Like, it's more comfortable to shoot somebody and be able to get a lot of people. You know, they want you to be, that's why this program is so heavy on the psyche, because they want you to be like, you know, they want you to be like, I'm getting every fucking body who's been harassing me. That's what they want. They want you to kill yourself or do a mass fucking shooting, because they know how heavy this psychological warfare is. and it makes you vindictive almost. It makes you to the point to where you can't get justice from the police, so you want to serve justice on your own. And this is literally how this fucking program makes you feel. It makes you feel like you want to fucking get your fucking justice. And this is why so many fucking people get killed and shit, because you know, anybody who's a, you know, if you're gonna do something to somebody in this program, you're gonna make it count, because you know that's you're either gonna fucking die or you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your fucking life. So you want to make this shit count, because you know you don't want to fucking lose your life. But if these people are gonna make you lose your life, then you're gonna make them, as many of them, lose their lives. You're gonna want to make it count. I know I would. There's no way in the world that I'm gonna do something to one of these people and lose my life when I'm damn near gonna get the same amount of time, or the fucking same death penalty as fucking taking one of them out. Like, I'm gonna go on some super soldier shit. If that was my mentality, like, if my mentality was to go out there and hurt people, sorry, that's legitimate, hurt people behind this fucking injustice, but, you know, that's not my mentality. They're gonna get theirs, and they've been getting theirs, so I don't have to play a part in it. All I have to do is pray on it. As long as I pray on it, you know, and it's, I don't want to I don't want to put this type of fucking analogy on God, but you know, as long as I pray on it and I see on the news that something has happened behind this targeting and shit, you know, I feel that's His way of letting me know, like, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of things. I'm handling things. Don't worry about it. You keep yourself out of trouble. I'll take care of everything. So, yeah, man, we don't have to do anything. It's sad that the targets out there who have done something to these people are not gonna get a fair trial. You know, I feel like the targeted individuals within that city should, you know, show support and probably, you know, go even protest in front of those fucking jails, and you know, that would be a very good thing to do and shit, like, but again, like, I understand it's not, because you know, the shit that they bring on you, it gets worse when you protest on these motherfuckers. It gets worse, and I know a lot of people are going through some shit already. Like, the one thing they do not like you to do is fucking try and get this message out. They want you to sit in it. You know, they've even had the audacity and shit to walk by me and say, just take it. Just take it. You know, they've actually had the fucking audacity to do that shit. Like, you know, it makes you just want to slap the shit out of one of them, but it makes you want to slap, because they're cowards, man. They're cowards, man. They would not do this shit if they didn't have the illusion of police protection. You know, and that illusion of police protection is a very big illusion, man, because you can see on the news how many people have died from this program that were under the impression that they would not be touched. They could not be touched because the police were protecting them. Believe me, they were under that illusion. That's the only reason they were doing what they're doing. You know, sometimes I hop out this van when they do the fucking one headlights and shit. And, you know, I'm not going to do it because I got my camera, I'm recording. I'm trying to make sure, you know, I get your fucking face on this fucking camera. I'm not going to do anything violent. That's not my intention. But as soon as I get up to, they start backing up and shit, and fucking, you know, the looks on their faces be like scared. Some of them, not all of them. You know, the looks on their faces be scary. Sometimes it'd be a one lady, like, you know, if you're gonna be scary and fucking, like, that's the illusion of police protection right there. That's the illusion of somebody thinking that you're not gonna come out because they got backup. And they know you know that they got backup. That's what that illusion of. That's why so many of these motherfuckers is dying, because they have the illusion of police protection. And then and you know, the police don't give a fuck because, you know, it's a silent program. So since it's a silent program, when you die, when you die, you know, no one's left to fucking tell. Nobody's left to tell the real story. So, you know, they hurry up and sweep that shit under the rug. And everybody who's participated, you know, you can't even tell now because you're trapped in here because you're a part of the situation. And they got you fucking psychologically locked into, if you tell on us, then you're gonna get in trouble too, because you're a part of it. And so everybody's just locked into this fucking death game. and for the ones that aren't scared about getting locked up behind it, they're scared of the fucking program turning around and hitting their ass. And so, you know, they know how to secure themselves, that's for sure. They know how to secure themselves. Oh man, it's a cold game, man. But hey, you know, it was written in the Bible. We've heard it many times from scholars. The world is gonna come to an end. Revelations is here. We hear it all the time. This is just a form of revelations, or maybe it's the real fucking thing. Who knows? Maybe they were just describing it different in the Bible. But this is where the separation is, right here. The good and the bad. The wheat, what do they say? The wheat and the tear. This is it right here. And I'm not saying I'm invincible, because I'm far from invincible. But I've had enough close calls to know, even within this targeting, to know that there's a purpose that I haven't fucking met. There's definite purpose I haven't met, so I could meet that purpose right now. I could say something that, you know, God needs somebody to hear and fucking be dead by tomorrow. But I know until I fucking get that message out, that whatever these people do, they're not gonna be able to get rid of me until I get that message out. So I guess I just fucking keep on getting the message out until that time comes. But as far as their little death threats and shit, their little no headlights and all that shit, they gotta come better with their intimidation tactics. They definitely have to come better with them, because that shit. Yep. I support Take the Knee. I support Take the Knee. When I see the American flag, all I see is a decorated piece of toilet paper. That's all I see. No offense to anybody that's fought in the war for the right reasons. no offense to any of our fallen soldiers. My great grandfather was a veteran, but this isn't that same America. Well, actually, it is the same America, except it's been hidden. It's been hidden and decorated with fucking stories, bullshit, lies, and stories and shit to cover up their bullshit. But it's always been the same fucking America. It's always been. That's why they set booby trap. That's why they set the illusion of freedom booby traps around. Tell you the freedom of speech, and as soon as you fucking start using your fucking constitutional right, they fucking label you a whistleblower and start fucking terrorizing the shit out of you. The freedom of fucking expression. You do your expression and they terrorize you. Like it's a whole entrapment thing. Like they give you the illusion of freedom and it's all it's all a booby trap. They entrap you with your own fucking you gotta be smart these days. Like if you're into fucking any type of fucking researching the government's wrongs and being against certain things that you gotta be silent with that. You can't be expressing that shit on the internet or none of that shit. Like you literally, and you can't even think. You can't, like, they're literally breaking into your fucking brain waves now and fucking getting your thoughts and shit. So pretty soon they're gonna even know your political views if you want to keep that shit fucking quiet. Like there is no keeping shit quiet because they can read your fucking brain waves now. Every fucking every moment that you think, everything you think you're gonna get away with, everything you think that is just locked away in the back of your head, and as long as you don't say anything about it, man, do you know the games that they're gonna be playing with people when that shit comes out, man? The games that they're gonna have people thinking, you're the only one I told about this and shit. I've never told anybody about this, and now everybody fucking knows. These are the type of games that these people are gonna play, man. They're gonna have best friends breaking up. They're gonna have family members breaking up. Oh, man. They're doing it right now. Mothers and fathers, leaving the kids, so they can fucking train the kids on the TV and shit. Breaking up families, getting the fathers out the house with their fucking technology and shit. Divorces and shit. And now they're fucking, okay, we got the kids now. We can rush all our bullshit entertainment on the television screens and fucking indoctrinate the fucking children of the world and shit. These are your fucking governments, man. These are the fucking games they play. And they think you think you're free. You think you're free. At least in China and all these third world countries. I don't even think China is a third world country, but they're a pretty fucking strict country. Like they're locked down. So, they'll shoot you and do all that fucking shit. If they shoot motherfuckers in the back of their head and shit. Like so, at least out there, you know what you're up against, and you steal something in the Indies, or you steal something, you get your fucking hands chopped off. You know that. Out here, they tell you go to jail, you do your time. After you go to jail, like they literally put you in a lifetime cycle of fucking. You're literally a cash, like the average person that goes to jail, no matter how petty the fucking crime, no matter how serious the crime, like you're gonna catch most of your time off bullshit charges. After that, when you get out, when you're on parole or probation, the time that you're gonna get after that is gonna be time that parole and probation have made fucking against the law. So in the regular world, these things are not crimes, but in the parole and probation world, these things are crimes. and you you'll be introduced to a whole new set of crimes that, you know, the average person wouldn't even get a smack on the hand for. You know, so most of your time comes after parole, and after the initial time that you do for doing what you did. So you pay your time for your crime. You know you'll be going back to jail for 6 months or better just on violations of laws that the fucking parole and probation have made up. So you're gonna lock yourself into eventually you'll fuck around and catch another case because you're not gonna be able to get no job, and the pressures, and the average person, they're just gonna. It's so much psychological shit that they throw on you and pressure that they put on you. You gotta get a job. So you get a job, and as soon as you get a job, the fucking probation officer wants you to report that day. So as soon as you get the job, you gotta tell your boss, "Oh, I gotta see my parole officer tomorrow," and that shit don't work out. Because your parole officer or your probation officer, they know you got this job, and they know they need to get some people off their caseload inside the jail so they can fucking meet their quotas and shit. So, then they start playing all types of yo-yo games with you and shit, knowing and trying to fuck your job off now. So they done fucked your job off, and now they're gonna lock you up for losing your job, even though they're the ones that made you lose your job. And it's just like, man, then you try and fucking explain this shit to people, and they say, "Oh, you're just making excuses. He's trying to help you. He's trying to help you." Like, people don't know how that shit feels. Like, people do not know how that shit feels when you know exactly what they're doing, man, and you try and explain it. It's just like this program, man. You know exactly what they do. Like, they sit here and they, you might have your wife with you when you go to your initial parole hearing and shit, because in the beginning your family wants to be there for you, they want to help you. So you all go in there as a family, and your parole officer is laying down the fucking stipulations and the law and saying this is what you can and can't do, and your family's like, "Yeah, we're gonna help them." Your parole or your probation officer saying, "Yeah, because we want to help you, we want to get you through this," and then when your family's not there, it's a whole different story, man. It's a whole fucking different story. Now let the games begin. Let's see if you can beat this psychological warfare. Let's introduce you back into life. Put in a good word for you. If you're gonna get a job, if you're really trying to get a job, we'll put in a good word for you to the people that are trying to hire you. None of that shit. It's you. Oh, you got the job. Looking at you crazy like they didn't think you could do it. "Oh, you got the job? Oh, okay." Then the games begin. "Oh, we need you to come in tomorrow." You come in the name. "We need you to be here at 8:30. You go there at 8:30, and then they don't step out till fucking 12 o'clock to see you. Like, they come out at 8:30, they tell you, they look to see if you're out there at 8:30, and then they tell you to hold on because they got somebody else in there, and then you don't see them till like 12 o'clock that afternoon. They got other parole officers coming out there, having their other parole officers or probation officers coming out to see if you're still there. Then they go back and tell them, "Yeah, he's still here. He's still here." If you decide to leave and shit, then you get violated and shit. But if you come 15 minutes late, if you're 5 minutes late because the bus 15 minutes late, and you weren't there at 8:30, but they come and see you're out there at 8:15, oh man, you're liable to have 5 or 6 parole or probation officers come and snatch you up and lock your ass up for like 30, 40 fucking days. And this is the games they play. These are your parole and probation officers who, tell the general public that they're here to help us. Or not me anymore. I'm not with that shit. I'm not on that shit no more, thank God. Now, well, I guess I am on it now. This is a whole different type of, this is beyond parole. This is worse than parole. This is like life on parole. just another extension to the fucked up governments that we live. Let me see. Right, I just saw a drone following you. Oh, not. I mean, if they were following, I mean, the motherfuckers is following. Like, there's nowhere to run. Nowhere to run. Now you freaking me out, Soft Magic. You kind of freaking me out. You using my real name. I know I said my real name to the police when I was telling them my fucking... But that's what a police officer always rolls up to me and says. He always calls me by my fucking name. And he placates the shit out of me. It's one of the Doobie Brothers, I call them. I call them the Doobie Brothers. One of them has one of those fucking, one of them has them fucking, you know, not Barney Fife. What was the other guy's name? You know, like the Greasers type dude, like the 1960s where they used to do the musicals and fucking pull out the switchblades on the fucking... What did they used to call them, like a movie musical or some shit, where it's like, it was like the gangs and shit, and they had the fucking slick back hair, and they used to fucking pull switchblades out on each other and sing songs and shit. He got one of those type of hairstyles and shit. He reminds me of like Wally or somebody from Leave It to Beaver. But there's his little sidekick that always rolls up, and when they roll up, they always call me, "Hey, Jacob," and then they start placating me. Nice dogs, cute dogs. Every time I do a video on like them fucking, and you guys probably heard them. You guys heard them, wait, when I was recording them that day, I recorded them, and as they pulled off, they said, "Nice dogs." Or cute dogs right after I did the video on them fucking shooting my dogs with frequencies and shit. They always do that shit. They ride up and say, "Hey, Jacob, nice dogs, cute dogs. All right, Jacob, you need some water? You need some help? How can we help you, Jacob?" And fucking roll off. I'm not saying that you're one of them, that shit freaks me out when they start doing it. Well, it don't freak me out. I know they're on here. So I just don't want to be thinking that you're one of them if you're not. Yeah, man, I'm hanging in there, D-Ray. I hope all is well with you guys as well, man. Hanging in there, bro. And the Doobie Brothers, the Doobie Brother cops, they be trying to set me up or entrap me and fucking video record me and shit. While they're doing, what they do is they pull up next to me, and the dude, he thinks I don't see it. The cop, he thinks I don't see it. He fucking hangs his camera on the side of his fucking door. Like, cause it's black, his body camera is dark, so when they pull up on the side, you know, he thinks because it's double toned, so, you know, it's black at the top, white in the middle, then you got the you know, the police fucking seal on it, and then it's black, it goes black, so it's like a stripe of white with the police seal. So when you hold something black up against it, you can't really see it, but you know, and I cut, you know, he thinks I don't see that shit. He'll roll up like he tries to fucking get me saying that they don't do that. He tries to get me on camera to say that they're not a part of this. They be like, we haven't done anything wrong to you, have we, Jacob? Jacob, we haven't done anything that they trying to trap you. And he's trying to be real slick, because it's like, nah, man, you're not gonna fucking try and, come on, dude. Nah. That does not work on me, my friend, because I'm not hysterical like that. I'm paying attention to everything, my friend. You're not fucking gonna get, come on, man. I'm paying attention to everything. Like, you're not gonna be able to sneak that shit past me. But it's a real sneaky move. It's a real fucking sneaky move, and it's a very strategic move, because that can be used at court. It's gonna be, those videos will be utilized, and you know, they can say, well, you said right here, you know how they like that. You know, why are you accusing him now when you said right here he wasn't doing anything to you? And we have him on camera, and they always like to say, do you want water? Can we help you? Can we help you? We just want to help you, Jacob. They try and look good on the camera. They really gaslight the people on camera, but they gaslight me as well. But what they do is try and build some type of credit with the community and shit, so when the community they can play the fucking footage back and say, oh, well, to see, the cops were trying to help you here, see? They were offering you water. They were asking you if they could get you anything. Nah, you're not going to use that on me. No, sorry. See, this is a strategic game. It's not a game to us. To them, it's a game. It's a wicked, wicked fucking game. And who knows, he probably put those fucking, you know, because when they pull me over, I automatically hop out. Like, I don't play no games to where they can fucking get up on the fucking car and fucking say they thought I had something and fucking shoot me. Especially, you know, I know, like, literally, I know, like, anything they can fucking do at this point, like, they'll probably fucking, like, do if they can get away with it. Like, they've already, from, you know, you guys saw the video, you can, some people can say I'm exaggerating, but if you see the video, how strategic that shit was, you'll see, like, I think these people tried to kill me through a car accident. It was very strategic. There was a person sitting on the side of me, and the light was fucking red, just like this. I stayed, when the light turned green, I noticed he was looking at me. So I'm thinking he's gonna follow me, and that's what they usually do. I'll go, and fucking they'll hang back and follow me and shit. So this is the type of situation I thought this was, because he kept looking at me and shit. So I held back, and he held back, you know, and he wasn't holding back, because, you know, like, he was holding back, and he saw that I wasn't gonna go until he went, you know, because I do that. I make sure, like, they go in front. I don't want them following me and shit. So as soon as the light turned green, I held back, and he held back. And if I would have went, the way the shit went is, if I would have went to go make that light, the dude would have smashed into, like, the front end of my fucking vehicle, like, literally, like, and I think it's the vehicles that they, you know, I think they set those vehicles, like, they're like stunt vehicles or some shit, like, to where they can get away with car accidents. That, like, they know, they have to know exactly where to hit the vehicle, not to fucking, you know, fuck themselves up. And then I think the vehicles is You know how they have the frequencies set up in the headlights of the vehicles and shit. I think they have the vehicle set up on the inside to where, like race cars or some shit, like you won't, you know, hurt yourself, so to speak. But the way it would have happened is he would have smacked into either like the front fender, the front where my tire is, or like on the passenger side of my vehicle. And then there was another car that came and he stopped. He did a youre, and he made sure the other car, as soon as the other car got on the freeway, he took off behind the car on the freeway, and that's all he wrote. Like, it's literally, I got that shit on video. So I already think they tried to make an attempt on my life then. So, you know, I don't play those games. When the police get behind me and shit, I don't care if they got their lights on or not. I get out and I hop out. I get out the fucking vehicle and I fucking hop out. I get on my fucking hands and knees and throw my hands up in the air, man, because I'm not taking no fucking chance. And then they like to roll up on the side of me and do that fucking bullshit with their fucking camera and shit, like I'm not gonna notice it. But the last thing I'm gonna do is, especially the Doobie Brothers and shit, they look like some racist motherfuckers and shit with the fucking West Side Story haircuts and shit. Like, I'm cool on that. Fuck that shit. Yeah, man, so alright, back at GGCP. Good to see you, bro. Hey, what's going on, Alan? Hey, Tamika. I'm chilling. Hey, that's what's up. Hell yeah. What's the latest on the mass shootings in Sacramento? It should be on your newsfeed now. Yeah, in Sacramento, I don't know if they're covering it up or what. They say it was a crowd of people that got in a fight, and then, you know, it was the gunshots came from more than one person. It could have been some gang shit. It's you know, whatever it is, it shoulda, this shit's gonna come to light. It'll come to light. Right now, they're just trying to hold shit back. You know, it's never the real story. They have to correlate a story to put on the news for the people and shit. You only really fucking get the real deal through their fuck-ups and shit. People start pointing out their fuck-ups. You can see that shit on YouTube all the time, like especially with these fucking these celebrity murders and shit. Like, especially the last one, Young Dolph. That Young Dolph case where Young Dolph was murdered, man. You know, the news was trying to hide shit. Literally, like, fucking fans got on the fucking investigation side of things and fucking started they were pointing shit out. Like, they literally, like, there's one channel that was pointing shit out so much to the point that the fucking police fucking, they had fucking, you know, they had fucking, you know, anonymous police fucking getting on the fucking, you know, getting on their channel and fucking communicating with them about this shit through the comments and shit. Like, literally telling them they're on the right track. And, you know, man, it's crazy. Be careful. I appreciate that. When's any more protests against this bullshit? Haven't seen any more rallies anymore. Oh man, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Um, I don't knock the rallies or anything. I don't really pay attention to the rallies and shit. Like I don't. Maybe I should, but I just, I feel like they're good for like, as far as like, for TIs to be able to fucking get out there and communicate with each other, like on a physical and personal uh skill, other than behind the internet and shit. But as far as trying to bring some type of awareness out there, like we get so, those things get so infiltrated, man, that it becomes a part to where it becomes to a point to where I don't even want to go to those things, because I know they're infiltrated, man. I know they've infiltrated, man. And then it goes in one ear and out the other, man. It goes because people aren't like pushing the shit on. It's like people, we're protesting for ourselves and shit, but it's not long. It's not to the point to where people are gonna remember. It's a day of fucking trying to get this awareness out. It's not gonna work like that, man. You have to pound this fucking shit into their fucking, because it'll go in one ear. They'll fucking, Real Husbands of Hollywood or Real Wives of Hollywood will fucking come on, and they'll forget all about, like, that shit'll go into the fucking subconscious, and they won't even remember what the fuck you was talking about the next day. It's just it's just the way fucking. So I mean, I definitely don't knock them though, because it's a good way for us to communicate with each other and shit. But that's the only good I see out of those things, man. Are you okay? Yeah, definitely. I'm hanging in there. Imagine, oh man, 30 years of this shit? Fuck. And I know it's people that's been going through this shit for a long time, man. Longer than 30 years. Like, I think I heard somebody say they was going through this shit for like 50 years. It's this one guy, I have to think of his name, man. But he's been going through it for a while, man. Pretty knowledgeable cat. Here goes a domestic terrorist right here. This is one of those, I think that's, no, is that a sheriff? Might be a sheriff. I think that's one of those, those immigration police. Those police that be at where you get your fucking green card and shit. Not immigration, but since birth I've been targeted, made me stronger. Yeah, man. It definitely, man. You you have to definitely commend yourself for fucking going through this fucking program and not cracking up, man. Because this program is literally, it's built around making a person. It's built to make you crazy, man. Like, this shit is an extension of fucking some very sick experiments that they ran on the people, man. And like I said, like, our forefathers of this program, the original people who, well, not, I'm not gonna say, well, yeah, the Jewish people as well. The Jewish people as well. Like, a lot of people went through some severe fucking torture, man, for them to get this fucking program right. you know, and physical torture at that. Like, you know, a lot of psychological fucking torture with drugs and you know, experiments, locking people up in rooms off fucking PCP, and you know, locking them in the rooms, not feeding them, and just experimenting on them and watching them, you know, tear each other apart and shit. Like, these people are very, very sick, man. The people who built this program and tweaked it to get it the way it is today. This is like Pinky and the Brain shit, man. And not on no cartoon shit, man. Like on some for real shit. You know, you think like out here, well, in Palo Alto, they got an underground thing in the college, an underground laboratory where they experiment on animals and shit, like, you know, and make medicines and all this fucking bullshit. But you gotta think all the fucking animal torture that they do on down there, man. Like, just the people that do experimentation on animals. Like, these people are sick, man. You see some of those fucking TV shows where they got the fucking skulls chopped off the top and the fucking suction cups on the fucking brain, and just the monkey is fucking Lord knows if it's going through pain and shit with his fucking skull scalped and shit. And these people are just walking by while these fucking animals are, like, these people are sick, man. Like, you know, a person that can do that, to animals can do it to humans, and the person that can do that to humans, man, that's a dangerous fucking person, man. That's a dangerous fucking person, man, and that's the type of person that, you know, can create types of fucking, you know, we're dealing with a very evil people. And the people that are participating in this program are just like the fucking the kids at the fucking college that fucking participate in that fucking, you know, research, fucking walking past the fucking monkeys, and they don't have no fucking, you know, sick feeling or no fucked up feeling or like no bad conscience about fucking seeing that shit. Like, they can't feel that type of pain, like looking at something like that, knowing the pain they're going through, and they can't feel that shit. They can stomach that shit all damn day. That's what these people are doing to us, man. And it's sensitizing the shit out of the fucking public to death. Like, every day, every time one of us kill masses of these people and they sweep it under the rug, it gives the you know, the people producing and conducting and participating in this shit, you know, they're being sensitized to murder and shit. Basically, they even get the false illusion into their heads that they're untouchable. They got the police on their side. People are dying. Like, do you know how much fucking what would you call it? Courage, I guess you would call, not courage. The feeling of belonging, elite status. This is all the feelings they get when they're able to know that they participated in a person committing these many murders, and the police sweep it under the rug and keep them out of trouble. Like, you know, in a way, they feel like they're untouchable, like they can do anything. You know, the mindsets of some of these people, man. You gotta think, man. A lot of these people, man, they come from nothing, and they've never had no type of fucking, look at the tow truck with the dog cage in it. He's hitting me up again. That's the Tres Amigos tow company. They like to fucking hit me with the fucking thing with the dog cage in the back and try and trigger me. And it got me off a fucking train of thought. It's crazy. That shit works, man. It got me off my train of thought, man. Fuck. But, yeah, man, these people are evil. Sick. Let me get to your guys' comments. Oh, yeah. These people, man, they get that sense of being, untouchable. And the thing that used to get me, it still gets me to this fucking very day, man. The shit that I've been locked up for, and there's never been a time that I've always hated it. I never liked the fucking police. But there's never been a fucking time to where I blamed anything that I've done on the police or been like, my reason for hating the police was all the fucking police shootings and the fucking racism and the profiling and shit. Not for locking me up and shit. I never contested the police for fucking locking me up. None of that shit. That's not why I didn't never like the police. But, like, this program right here, man, this program right here, where they fucking set shit up, try and set you up and all that wicked shit, man. So, saying all that to say, for them to fucking do the shit that they do to you and not get in trouble for it, when they would lock you up for like the smallest of things, jaywalking, just the smallest of the small, petty theft even, like that's small, like, and they can get away with shit like sweeping murders under the rug that they're literally creating, like they're literally fucking harassing people to the point of psychological warfare, making people afraid of certain nationalities and certain races and shit. Like, how does that work? Like, before you guys started, you tell people you're cleaning up the streets. Okay, you're cleaning up the streets. Okay, even if some of these people are bad, say there's somebody selling drugs and you want to stop him from selling drugs. So you send all your fucking scouts on him with psychological warfare. Okay, now this person has stopped selling drugs, or maybe he hasn't. Maybe he fucking sells drugs and goes to jail. But we're gonna say this person did stop selling drugs. And you're still hitting them with the psychological warfare, and you're using certain races and nationality. Look at the death lights right there on that car in front. See? So I gotta quit doing that because they're doing that to take my train of thought. So, fuck, man. Every time I point something out, I lose my train. Okay. So, they're using certain nationalities, like whether you go in the grocery store, they're damaging your vehicle and all this fucking shit. They're using different, certain nationalities. Now, you got a person afraid. Now this person is afraid of white people. Now this person is afraid of Asian people. Now you're making this person afraid of certain people, nationalities and shit with your program. So, how are you cleaning up the streets now? Because now you're creating this you're hitting this person with psychological warfare. He doesn't, you're flipping their minds inside the fuck out. To the point where they try and reach out to you, the person that's conducting this program, and you gaslight them over the phone like you don't know what's going on, and telling them, like you're not a part of it. The police aren't a part of this. The police wouldn't do nothing like this. So now you're leaving these people, like, literally, you're giving them no help. They're psychologically already fucked, thinking that these people are out to get them. And now you got them certain races. Now, what if, me for instance, say, I flip out, which I would not do. I don't want nobody to get what I'm saying wrong, because I would not do this. But say I flip out and kill about 10 fucking, say I flip out and kill 10 Chinese people. If I flip out and kill 10 Chinese people behind the police using Chinese people to fucking domestically fucking terrorize me every day, get behind me in their fucking Teslas and with one headlight, or fucking, who's to say if I get out, it's a family of Chinese people in the back of me. Say there's a family of Chinese people in the back of me driving with one headlight, and I've been like, this is my, going on 12 years of this domestic terrorism, and I just flip out because the police aren't helping me. The police are not helping me, and I think that I'm being terrorized by Chinese people, and I'm afraid of them, and I'm tired of, I don't want to go on fucking being afraid of Chinese people no more. So fuck it, I'm willing to fucking get out and fucking get killed, but I'm taking this whole fucking family of Chinese people out behind me. I'm gonna take this whole fucking vehicle because they're following me with one fucking headlight, and I'm tired of this shit. Who's to say that a person won't do that one day? And they can't say a person won't do that one day. So if I get out and do that, you're gonna get on the news and tell everybody what a monster I was, and maybe rightfully so. Maybe at that time, I was a monster, because that's a very, even though it's a brought on, it's a very demonic action, but sometimes you can't control those type of things when you're being hit with psychological warfare. Like, this is something they're bringing out of your fucking character. Like, they're bringing you out of your character. They're creating that monster that they get on the news and tell everybody that you are. The monster they get on the news and tell everybody that you are, they'll never go on the news and tell everybody that you're the monster that they created. They won't tell everybody that they've been hitting you with psychological warfare. Even though they see your videos of these people following you with one headlight. They see your videos of fucking you going up to the fucking police and telling the police, and the police telling you they don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, so when the police say, when you do actually do this to these people, are the police going to deny that those people were working for them? That's my question to the agents out there. When we do something, my question to the agents, when we actually do something, do you let the general public know that the people we did it to were the people that were working for you? That would be my question. And what are the piece of shit families that know their family members are working for the police? Like, what are the piece of shit family members? Like, what do you think of when you see your family member get swept under the rug, when you know he's been or she's been harassed with around-the-clock psychological warfare, and they finally react to that shit after years and years of fucking psychological wear and tear on the fucking mind? When they finally react to it and the fucking government sweeps them under the rug, the police department sweeps them under the rug and say they have mental illness, how does the fuck does that make you feel? Like, do you get a lifelong subscription to some payment for that shit? Like, the piece of shit family member that sent their fucking 14-year-old kid out to harass a man that got their fucking 14-year-old kid killed, how the fuck do you feel? Like, that's like some real life instant karma. That's real life instant karma when you send your kid out to harass somebody and your kid gets killed. That's the audacity of your fucking stupidity. And then for you not to fucking reveal that the police are a part of this shit, and you just let the police sweep that shit under the rug. To where they're able to do it again and somebody else's kid gets fucking killed. Or somebody's grandmother gets killed, or somebody's fucking whole family gets killed, or a bunch of different people's family members get killed. You're able to let these fucking people prosper, wax their fucking pockets, and do it all over again with a fucking smile on their face, knowing that they're creating generational wealth off of your son is a part of their generational wealth now. Your son has just been mixed into the fucking conglomeration of people's pockets. He's gone down in history for being a piece of the cash cow. Man, I tell you guys, man, we're not the crazy ones, you guys. We by far are not the crazy ones. We're dealing with some real psychopaths, man. We are dealing with the fucking nuttiest of the nutty. Like, these people, man, they don't care who they put on the front line. You know, people are doing shit to they're putting their children in situations that animals wouldn't put their children in. A fucking animal isn't gonna send his fucking child out to hunt. A fucking animal isn't gonna do that. Oh, I'm tired today. I'm gonna let Junior go fucking catch a fucking deer. I'm gonna let fucking my little tiger go fuck with my little cub go fucking chase down a deer. A deer that oh man, these people are sick, man, and they call us crazy. They call us delusional. They are delusional to think that they are not crazy, and for them to even do it with a smile on their face, you know, that tells you everything you need to know about these fucking people. That tells you we're not dealing with a normal fucking people. A cult, secret society, whatever you want to call these fucking people, man. They are not. They have no soul. They have no conscience. They don't care who dies. They don't care if a child. They don't care who's put in the crossfire. The police can do just the fact that the police can conduct this type of program and put people in the crossfire the way that they're doing, the general public in crossfire the way they're doing. Like, for the people that don't know about this program, that don't participate in this program, for the old lady that her headlight might have legitimately gone out, or, you know, a family might have legitimately went to Target and they just happened to be walking down the street, since you know, the police departments like to sensitize us to target bags and shit. You know, I got videos where dudes just fucking walks in front of me with his target bag and stops for like 5 minutes and just sits there and tries to fucking soak my brain with the target bag, and then turns around and fucking leaves and shit. Stands literally like right in front of my van. And then I got one that's walking back, and as soon as he passes me, he walks the other way. I put some music to that one. Fucking, this is the type of fucking sensitization that they do. And so, you know, over a period of time, when a person gets fucking fed up and like tired of it and ready to retaliate on these motherfuckers because the police ain't helping them out, you know, an old lady or a family happen to be legitimately coming from Target. And for a person that's like just tired of it and is not gonna take the time to think, he's just like, I'm ready to fucking leave. I'm ready to get the fuck off the planet. You know, that family is coming with me. And the police know these are the things that can happen. They know these are the things that will happen. You know, they know this will happen. And for them to put the general public in danger like that is not cool. It's not cool because we all have, us as targeted individuals, we have children, we have family members, you know, who can become victim of this program. And for anybody who does this to our family members and shit that are targeted and shit, like, we have to know that this isn't their fault. Like, this is the fucking police department's fault. This is Neighborhood Watch's fault. And anybody else that participates in this program, this is their fault. Like, this isn't the person who committed that fucking crime against our family and shit, because this person has been hit with fucking so much psychological warfare that, you know, it was just time. It was time. Pressure makes diamonds, they say. It also bursts pipes. So what the fuck do you think it's gonna do to the human brain? And for the police to get away with that shit, drink their coffee in the morning and go to work so they can conduct this shit all over again. Man, that's fucked up. And they shouldn't have no place in fucking society, man. The police have, these police that participate and conduct this program they have no place on the planet, really, but they really have no place in the field that they're in, man. Now they've just gone, they've gone fucking AWOL. Like, the police, the real fucking police have fucking been taken out the game. And maybe they put some type of military people in fucking police suits and shit. And all types of fucking psychological warfare, military type of motherfuckers and shit. Like, they literally gotten rid of all the real police and put these military motherfuckers on deck. Man, they just wear police suits and shit. But whatever these fuckers are going around doing this shit, these aren't real fucking police, man. These are fucking, they're rabble rousers. They're not stopping crime, they're creating crime. And the worst of all crimes, like, they're creating people to commit murder and shit like that. Creating people to be afraid of certain nationalities, and creating all these different scenarios. Whatever scenario they want to plant and they want you to feed off of, you know, and they see that it's working. You know, all they want is for you to, you know, they want you to crash and fucking burn. They want you to fucking crash and burn. Kill somebody immediately. So we can get on the news and fucking impose our fucking gun laws. Just like they did with Samuel Cassidy, Myron May. This last incident with the shootings and shit. And who's to say that wasn't some fucking, you know, who's to say that shit wasn't some type of fucking show they put on, just so they could get on the news and fucking, you know, just so they could get on the news and try and impose their fucking gun law bullshit. It happens all the time, though. As soon as it happens, they want to get on TV and impose their gun laws. and knowing the last two ones or that they got on the news and tried to, not the last two, not this one, because I'm not even sure if this was a T.I. situation, but I definitely think it's a possibility, and they're just creating a story around it. But like for the last two, it's been fucking, or the three that been getting on the news and imposing gun laws, but they're not saying that they're creating these crimes and shit. They're not saying that they're driving people to the point. They're just getting on. We have to come to the fucking, when are these gun violences gonna end? When you stop fucking harassing people with psychological warfare, motherfucker. Stop trying to fucking placate the general public. Fucking gaslight the general public. Fucking piece of shit. Like, man. Wicked fucking people, man. Wicked as fuck. But hey, man, for everybody getting through this shit, man, pat yourselves on the fucking back, man. Treat yourself to a banana split. You feel me? Do something to reward your fucking self, because you are a fucking soldier and you're fucking getting through this shit. You feel me? And this is worse than any type of physical fucking torture. At the time, physical torture might hurt, but that's the pain of that shit subsides. You don't have no lifelong fucking pain off a fucking limb being chopped off, or you might mentally get a little fucked up because you can't do some things or some shit, but as far as the pain, that shit subsides. The shit that they're doing to us right here, like, this shit will never fucking go away fully. Like, if the program was to stop today, you've already, like, you're not, your mind, your ability to see things that your ability to see things that you once saw will be different. Like, the way you look at your family, you'll never look at your family the same. You'll never look at your friends the same. Anybody new that comes into your life, you'll always question them, to the point of where you might get comfortable with them, and they do one certain thing that triggers you from this program. The triggers that they've left you from this program, you'll automatically second guess them, and you'll always like it. The relationship will never be healthy. You'll always have a side eye towards those people. That's why you have to be very careful, man. You have to be very careful of how many people, of these people, that you put yourself and you choose to fucking communicate with, because we're human, and we need communication, and at times they send these people into our lives to where we even know that these people are a part of the program, but we feel like we need some type of fucking human contact. And if you get too comfortable with that shit, man, it shapes you. It shapes you into you start beginning to think that everybody's a part of this program, and if you don't, it's a dangerous thing to do, man. It fucks with the way you it changes the way you view things, man. You got to be very careful at who you hang with, man. And it's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna come into contact with them, And sometimes we're going to know that they're them, and we're just going to be like, even family members, like we know family members are a part of it, but they're our family, and we're going to think like they're not, these are our family members, they're not going to go overboard, they're just going to, but and I don't want to I'm just going to use me for instance. I'm not going to say nobody else's because I don't want to, I don't want to put no disrespect on it. I don't want to get the wrong intentions, but like, I'm never going to look at my family. All my family, let's see my family, they're trying to get me off of thing, but my family, man, even though like I love my family, certain things I'll do, like like for my mom, just because her situation, I give her a pass and shit, like because she's not all the way mentally there, so I give my mother a pass. But any other part of my family that participates in this program, as much as I love them, I'll never fucking trust them. Like they'll never be, that connection will never be there again. If this program was to end today and they were to fucking apologize and say they had to do it, like I'll never look at them the same. I'll never trust them. I would, I would always have it, like if the money was right, they would fucking kill me. That's my train of thought. Because if they would do this psychological warfare on me, then for the right amount of money, and if they knew they could get away with it and get the right amount of money, they would slip a pill, a death pill in my fucking drink. They would fucking slip something in my food. They would fucking even go to fucking pulling out a knife or a gun and taking my fucking life for these fucking people. So there'll never be that fucking trust and shit. There'll never be no fucking Thanksgivings and shit. Maybe a slide through and I don't even think that. There'll never be nothing like that. There'll never be none of that shit. For the ones that I know participate in it. And, for the ones that don't, I don't even want to go around them because I don't want to, I don't want to put this shit on them. I don't want to get this program put on them and shit. When you think about your children and all that shit, I much rather for my daughter to be targeting me than for my daughter to be, targeted and shit. Though I wouldn't want my daughter targeted. I would not want my daughter. If my daughter's gonna target anybody, I don't want my daughter targeting anybody but me. Like if you're gonna target anybody, fucking, but if you're gonna target anybody but me, then what you get is what you got coming. There's no fucking what do you call it? Favoritism in this shit. Like I don't see like the next person having the fucking, like the next person should fucking, the next person gets what they got coming. I don't see it any different for you if you're doing this to other people and shit. Like there's no fucking, just because we're blood and you're my daughter and I look at the no headlights on the Beatles. Notice how they like to use the no headlights on the Beatles. This is like the fucking fourth fucking Beatle on film with no headlight. But yeah, man, there's no favoritism in this shit. I can accept you doing it to me, and I can take that because I'd rather you do it to me than it have to happen to you. But for you to do it to anybody else, man, if you got it, you get what you got coming. And, for a person to feel that way about their family members, man, that's really fucked up, man. That's really fucked up. But hey, you gotta laugh about it. You gotta vent it out, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta vent this shit out. Um, the best way and the most healthy way you can do it is fucking, I feel, is get you a megaphone and start blasting outside the matrix. The matrix is what they got us in, is they got us wrapped around inside their matrix. And like that little dude on Charlie Brown, it's just like that little dude on Charlie Brown. He's walking, he got his blanket, and he's fucking got that dust and shit flying all around him and shit. It's the dirty one, the one with the dust and shit flying around him. And that's what these fucking perps are. They're that fucking dust all around them and shit. Like, so when you try and reach out to people, the only people that you're reaching out to is them, because they're strategically set up around you and shit. So they come to you and pretend like they're nice and shit. And you know, they're trying, it's like you got all those little dust bunnies are fucking trying to get like some type of information from you. Or trying to fucking induce some type of psychological warfare and trying to trick you into thinking they are, you know, you try and fucking explain the program to them, and they're fucking, you know, they're gaslighting you, and why would they want to do this to you? And you know exactly why, motherfucker, you're a part of it. But as soon as you get that fucking megaphone and you blast outside their matrix and shit, because they can only control your, they can, if you yell it out without the megaphone, they'll try and say you're crazy. They'll say there's some fucking guy walking up and down the street yelling and shit. Trust me, I know, I did it. I started protesting without the megaphone and shit. And they fucking they get people to say, oh, there's this guy walking up and down the street yelling. He's fucking crazy and shit. And so they'll try and get you and shit. They'll say, you know, but when you get the megaphone, they can't do that because you're protesting and shit. Yeah, and what do they call it? Trial and error and shit. Like, I've been through hella different trial and errors trying to fucking tweak how to fucking expose this fucking program and shit, man. Hell, the trial. Look at, there's a domestic. That might be the Doobie Brothers right there. This is about the time they're on. I know they're watching. I know they're tuned in right now. Maybe they address them like that for psychological warfare on me, to make me think they're like some type of racist 60s people, because they use them a lot. They're the only ones that pull up on me, and they look like some type of fucking, you know, the people from the Leave It to Beaver days and shit. The hairstyles they have, where it's like a puffy bang in the front and it's slicked back, that type of shit. Like the racist days and shit. Really fucking sick people. I can't stress it enough. And will never be the fucking same. Will never be the same. So the best way to vent this shit out, man, to where you don't do something to these people, man. And one of the best ways, I mean, you do what works best for you. If it's not gonna get you in trouble, you're not gonna cause harm to yourself or anybody else. And you're trying not to catch cancer. You're doing your best to stay in the best of health, because this shit will give you cancer. If you don't get it out and you lock this shit within, you know, it might not be cancer, but you're going to develop a physical illness that's not going to work out for you in the future. It's going to be a lot of fucking bullshit doctor visits that you don't need. And, you know, and I highly suggest, if you're going through this shit, stop eating meat, man. try and stop eating meat if you can, or try not to eat so much fucking meat, because that meat is fucking full of chemicals and shit. Not all our food is, but that meat stays into your system. Like, meat rots in your system like bubble gum. Like, when you swallow gum, meat stays in your system the same way gum does, and so that shit rot. Meat is, you know how meat smells when it's rotten and shit. So you gotta imagine what it smells like in your stomach while it's rotting, and all the fucking bullshit that is developing, parasites and all that shit. And then, you know, to go with this fucking program and all that shit, man. I'm not saying completely fucking cold turkey stop eating all meat, but, you know, try and stop consuming so much, man, because that shit is building up. And then with the stress of this program, you'll definitely develop something. You'll definitely develop something. You know? They know exactly what they're doing. You think this is only about black people? I think what you do has got me wrong. Wednesday? Nah, it's not only about black people. I know that. It's plenty of white targeted individuals. I said take the knee on America just because the unrighteousness that America, you know, I take the knee on America, period. It's not just about black discrimination or anything like that. It's about America, period. The wrongdoings of America. I take the knee on America, period. Not just behind racial issues, behind the whole fucking shit. Behind America going and causing problems in people's countries that they have no business, behind America killing people's leaders, behind America causing domestic terrorism on its people, behind America fucking setting up all types of false flags on the fucking world and trying to control the fucking world. That's what I fucking take the knee on. Not no one individual thing. So I don't want anybody to get what I said wrong. It's much deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. I'm against America, period. That's just that just happens to be one of the things in a bunch of things that I'm against America for. But that's not the only thing. Sad thing is when we see the sellouts. Yeah, the sellouts are the worst, man. The sellouts are the fucking worst, man. Because you would think, and there's a sellout in every fucking nationality. You would think, but from the fucking, you know, all the trauma that black people have been through with the police and shit, and we'll say all nationalities, because I don't want nobody to get what I'm saying wrong, but, you know, when all the fucking police shootings and all that shit, for black people to actually participate in this shit against anyone, but especially against another black person, knowing that they use the same tactic, like they'll shoot your fucking brother or your sister in the fucking face and sweep it under the rug and say, oh, we thought they had a gun, and no, you went in there and you murdered them, and because of what you thought, you're scot-free, and that's fucking justifiable, like, because of what you thought. So you can, you know, If you get in a car crash, excuse me, it's legitimate. If you get in a car crash and you hit somebody from the rear, you're the one that's gonna get in trouble for that. No matter if that person hits the brakes real fast and you hit them, and if there was a setup, you're still in trouble for that. Not because, I thought that person was driving regular. I didn't know that person was going to hit the brakes the way. No, you're still responsible for that. And that's just a minor car crash. So for a person to take another person's life, especially when you thought that person had a phone, or you see all these fucking incidents and these fucking bullshit excuses that get labeled justifiable. And for you to participate in that same fucking type, that prototype, that the same people in a program that uses that same protocol, I don't even look at you as black. You're a white supremacist, and there's a white supremacist in every race. I don't even look at you as fucking. You're a white supremacist. You're not. You're definitely. I even look at these marches different and shit, man. When I see the fucking black people marching in like the Martin Luther King marches, or the rallies, or the Black Lives Matter protests and shit, I be looking on there, I be like, man, every single one of these motherfuckers would probably participate in fucking domestically terrorizing me for the police. Every single, I look at all that shit like a fad now. Like, people just do that shit for a fad. Probably going to the marches and shit to meet girls or meet dudes, or just a fucking fashion show or some shit. No real meaning behind the protest or anything. Just a hangout, something to do. That's how I look at these motherfuckers, man. The way they use them and the way they go out, like the ones they use, the black ones they use, they just go out their way. They go out of their way. They're so indoctrinated into the fucking program that they just, they don't give a fuck. And they, when I say they don't give a fuck, like they really, they play the part. Like they play it better than anybody else. They go harder than anybody else. They go hard, like, even though they're perps, it always brings me back to the fucking Ice Cube song, Black Police Showing Out for the White Cops. And that's exactly the way the black perps are. Like, they go out their way to fucking show that they're fucking worthy of harassing people. Yep. Like I said, man, if this program was to end today, I know myself, I'll never be able to look anybody, most of all my own people. Most of all my own people. Like, it's a lot of things that going on in the black community as far as like scandalous shit. We all know that it happens in every community, so you always have that in the back of your head. But the treachery of this program, like robbing, like robbing and jealousy and all that shit, it's it's just a phenomenon. That's just here. Like, that's, you're always prepared for that type of shit. But for this treachery and shit, for you to turn on your own fucking people for the police, and when you got different nationalities conducting this program and telling you to do, like, that's a certain line that you don't You don't cross that type of line. You know, that's something you don't, that's something you'll forever be labeled a piece of shit for. In my book, like, you'll always be, like, that's like rape and molestation and shit. Robbing people, you might have killed somebody or something. Like, that's, you know, you can always, well, in my book, you can get redemption for that type of shit, like murder, fucking, not serial murder or no shit like that, but man, you know, certain shit, man. But like other shit, you can't come back from, man. And that's a treachery you can't come back from, working for the police to tear down somebody of your own fucking, your own right. And even like and see, and I point this out because this is the people that they use my people. They use fucking Asians on me a lot. They use Indians on me a lot. Then they use Latinos on me a lot. And I know they do it because they know I'm aware of the activities or the shit that's been going on as far as like the racism and the certain things that we've had to go through in life, and the certain things that have been fucking broadcasted on the TV, and you know, a decent human being, for the way that they've been doing shit, I'm gonna say a decent human being. You know, you're not gonna fucking go along with the fucking them and the fucking pandemic after a fucking whole race of Chinese people. You're not gonna blame every single fucking Chinese person that's fucking on the planet for something that Dr. Fauci fucking did. Something that fucking some laboratory in you know, in China fucking let loose, if that's even the case. You're not gonna blame a whole group of Chinese people for that shit. So when you get on the fucking TV and fucking, you know, name it the Kung Flu and shit, you know, it might be, you know, it might come from China, but you don't blame everybody for that. You don't make jokes about people like that. Same thing with the Latinos. Like, you know, just the other day, they were talking about building walls. They were saying you guys were fucking rapists. They said, you know, you guys are lazy, that we should build walls and you shouldn't come in here. And, you know, that's fucked up. You know, a decent person isn't gonna fucking, you know, go with that fucking, you know, bullshit. Maybe people come in here and doing certain things and all that, but you're not gonna fucking, you know, you're not gonna put down a whole race of fucking people and, you know, make joke of them and all that. Like, that's fucking wrong. And like the Middle Easterns, like, you literally sat here and watched America blow up their own fucking people so they can go in your country, so they can blame you. They can blame you, then go into your country and steal your fucking oil. And still to this very fucking day, they have outposts set up in your fucking region, in your country, stealing your natural fucking resources and shit. And overcharging the shit out of us for it. Like, so you see the capability of these people and you still fucking participate in this shit. It's like, these people aren't even a part of their own fucking race anymore. These people would do this shit. They're white supremacists, man. That's the way I see these people. All the Mexicans that participate, all the blacks that participate, All the Chinese that participate are white fucking supremacists. They don't give a fuck who they do it. They do it to their own fucking people. They do it to any other person. That's the white fucking supremacist. Not just your average fucking white person and shit. Not your, you know, your natural minded human being. Not these evil motherfuckers. These people that don't care about other people's lives and shit. And they'll do anything to fucking, you know, they'll do anything to fucking prosper in life. Whether it's fucking, you know, put other people in fucking, oppress other people, or you know, they'll do anything. They'll do anything for the fucking, for the money. They'll fucking step on their own morality for the money. They'll fucking do shit that they would never, you know, fucking do for these people. You know, if the ticket is right, they want it punched, they're gonna go punch that motherfucker. That's a white supremacist. That's another thing I don't want nobody to get me wrong. When I know when you hear me protesting, I say white supremacy a lot. I'm not directing that at a white. I'm not directing that at you know, nationality. I'm directing that at the system of white supremacy. That's why when I run up to people, whether they're black, whether they're Mexican, whether whatever, I call them, I gotta start saying American white supremacist, but I'll call them American white man. I call him American white man. Like it was I think the last one I did, it was it was an American Indian dude. It was American Indian dude, and I called him American white man. Oh shit, they do not like that shit. But yeah, man, me myself, I love all nationalities of people. I just don't like evil people. And if I feel that you're a racist, if I know in my heart that you're a racist, I'm not going to hold it in. I'm going to let you know that I know exactly what and who you are. And you're not going to be able to throw that reverse racism shit on me and think that that's going to work out. I'm still going to fucking put it out there. But I'm the furthest thing from a racist. Okay, I'm locked into on the comment side, you guys, so let me see. There's, hey, what's going on, Tony? No more pain. Sheila Fairley. I can't see your prior comment to that. Sheila Fair. Yeah, they're locking me out. Or locking me at a certain point of the comments. So I didn't catch that. they're putting stuff in the water. I was informed this year's ago not to drink the water by a family member. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Not just that, man. You gotta think. Your family members are the ones that can, I mean, they're the closest ones to you, man. And if they're gonna put something in your water, you know, they'll put it in anything, your food, anything. They might not even give it to you. Like, they might just, you know, it might be yours, and fucking all they have to do is implant this shit in your food. You'll never know whatever you got. You'll never know where it came from. And if you do, it's still plausible deniability. You might know it happened, but you can't prove it. And that's the way they like to work in this program. They like to make you know, but they like to, you know. And it might even be some shit that you can prove. Like, you might even can prove some of the shit, but, you know, with the psychological warfare that they throw on you, they'll make you think that you can never prove it. They'll try and make you think that you can never get anybody. And in some cases, you know, so strategically how they set it up, because, you know, they get on your internet and all this shit, and, you know, you get to point it out to people, and then they get on you, fucking troll you and tell you why would they want to do this to you, why would they want to do that to you. You try and tell people outside of the internet, and then they, you know, they placate you and shit. So, you know, they strategically set people up in those positions to actually help you along with their fucking bullshit. And then you know, you become so fucked up in the head that you actually become to think that you might be crazy and shit. Like, because if everybody else is looking at you crazy, if your own fucking family members are doing this to you, do crazy people really know that they're crazy? You start thinking shit like that. Well, I see crazy people all the time that say they're not crazy. Maybe I'm one of those crazy people, and, you know, it's a real mind fuck. It's a real fucking mind fuck, man. So, my best advice is never doubt your fucking sanity. Never doubt your fucking thoughts. And, like, if you fucking don't second guess, like, go with your gut, man. If you know somebody's a perp, you know, to stand on that, man. Don't let these fucking people, because they'll try and convince you out of, especially family members, man. Family members and good friends, oh, man, they'll run it on you. They'll lay it on thick, too. I've known you for so many years. You don't do nothing to nobody. Why would I want to do that to you? No, you're my friend, man. You're my fucking friend. And then right after you fall for that bullshit ass shit, they do some fucking perp shit and fucking call for fucking, you know, do some fucking telltale sign just to drive you fucking, make you second guess yourself even more. Don't ever fucking second guess yourself, I'll tell you that. Just make sure you know, like, make sure you know in your fucking gut, and stand on that shit. Don't fucking straddle the fence. If you have a thought, if you think they could be or some shit like that, you know, you might want to do a little bit more analyzing. You might want to do a little bit more analyzing and shit. But, you know, if it's in your gut and you just know, don't second guess that shit. Because that'll be the beginning of a long fucking headlock on your brain. You'll be wrestling with that fucking shit for a long time. A long fucking time. You know, that's, man. You know, one of the things they used to try to utilize on me, and I caught it right away, man. When they use that American flag, well, in my opinion, it's to try and make you feel left out, like you're not wanted here. You're not American. We're not gonna treat you like an American and shit. Like I developed that hate for that flag. You guys can't be doing that. I developed the hate for that fucking flag. Man, I developed the hate for that fucking flag. Unbelievable. Like whereas I used to respect that shit to a point. Like I disagreed with war and all that shit, certain wars and going to people's countries and shit. But I used to respect it for the fallen soldiers that fell for it. But not like now, it's to the point to where fuck that flag. I respect the fallen soldiers that fell for it for the right reason. But that flag is, I'll never look at that flag as anything but fucking toilet paper. No disrespect to anybody, but they've driven me to the point to where, like, man. And you just think that everything of America has been part of, man. Not just this fucking targeting shit. This targeting shit actually makes you think. It makes you look back on the whole history of America. I mean, certain things have, but I've never looked into the history of America. I know about slavery and certain shit like that. And I know, but, the history of America, it's a lot deeper than slavery. The history of America is a fucked up history. It's a history of fucking just going around places and just causing all types of fucking. It's like the troublemaker of all fucking the countries. Like America is the biggest bully, the biggest fucking terrorist, the biggest fucking. America is just like, what do they call it? Babylon. America is the capital of fucking Babylon. That's what every bad thing that you can think of America is America. Is what America stands for. All the deception, all the fucking lies, all the wizardry, all the seals on the fucking government fucking stamps and shit. Oh, those podiums they stand in front of. I think those are like the seals that they talk about in the Bible and shit. Like all that shit, like America's just everything bad mixed into one. The leader of all, Satan itself. To where they got rituals and fucking demonic shit printed all on the fucking money and shit. Like, literally, the thing everybody has to touch in order to fucking be able to survive is full of fucking curses and demonic spells and witchcraft and curses fucking and different languages and shit under all types of fucking symbolism and shit. And everybody has to touch that shit. In one way or another, everybody has to fucking touch that shit. Just think about all the trouble that money, all the fucking death, all the death behind money. All the pain and trauma behind money. And think about all the curses written on money. All the fucking hidden messages and symbolisms. They even got fucking the Twin Towers blowing up on some of the fucking money. Talk about fucking predictions. Symbolism. Giving other people messages and shit. People in the know, of course. People in the fucking know. Those Twin Towers were set to fucking blow up way before they even did. Like years and years and years and years and years ago. Years and years and years. Probably decades and decades and decades ago. Before it was even a fucking a building, period. Before those things were built, they were set to that moment was set. That was a ritualistic move. In order for that shit to be printed out on money, in order for that shit to be printed out on money the way it was, in order for that shit to be on fucking entertainment and shit through subliminal messages the way it was before it happened, that's all that fucking Nostradamus fake ass bullshit. They try and say Nostradamus predicted all this shit. Nah, man. They planned all this shit. And then they put him out there to fucking put it out there like he predicted it, so it would give people fucking, you know, because they have to tell the people. But people ain't gonna believe that shit. They know people ain't. There's just some fucking nutty man making some fucking predictions. That's the average person's gonna think. Nobody's gonna go with the fucking, you know, nobody really fucking thinks people can make predictions and shit. And they're not. If the ones that do, they're straddling the fucking fence, and you know, the people that, you know, want to talk to psychics and shit like that, they're you either believe in it or you don't fucking believe in it. But it's not, you know, it's not no fucking, or you know, they believe in it, but you know, they don't believe in it. It's not no fucking like they stand on their beliefs, like, for the most part. So, saying all that to say, most people, when you say Nostradamus and shit, they be like, even the people that believe in that shit, they're gonna be like, yeah, right. Yeah, right, that dude can't predict that shit. And then when it happens, you're like, damn, he did predict that shit. Whoa, that dude's fucking wow. And then you hold his fucking name up high, not even knowing that this is a script they told this man to fucking write a book about, to read, and to sound philosophical when you say it. Instead of saying airplanes, say birds. We want you to make we want you to give all these fucking people a story to build around it. So now you got people saying, oh, there weren't airplanes back in the day, so he had to write birds. And, you know, come on, man. This shit was planned a long time ago. This shit was planned a long time ago. But, hey. If you're not careful, you're gonna fall into their bullshit. You'll become indoctrinated into them bullshit, and then you'll believe in things like fucking Christmas is not a paganistic holiday. Christmas is a good holiday. Thanksgiving is a holiday that should be celebrated. Like they like The audacity of these motherfuckers to make a holiday after a day that they went and fucking, you know, not even the audacity of them to make it a holiday. Excuse me, that was legitimate. Not even the audacity of them to make it a fucking holiday. But the audacity of the people that they committed the crimes against to actually... Do you know how strong your psychological warfare game is when you can create a holiday after a day of fucking rape, pillaging, and fucking just fucking the people up? You can take that day, turn it into a holiday, and not only turn that day into a holiday, but make the same people who went through that trial and tribulation celebrate that holiday with you. Like, you are a master fucking magician. Literally, you can fucking... When you can fucking kill a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, and then make a fucking holiday after him, make the... and fucking get the people to celebrate this holiday with you, man. Tell me that is not a slap in the fucking face. Tell me that is not a slap in the face. Tell me that is not just like, oh man, this world, man. This fucking world, man. Christmas. Like, if you look at the real meaning behind Christmas and shit. You know, I'm no one to knock anybody for celebrating Christmas, because you do it for the good, but just the psychological value of that is, you know, you get the real story of Christmas, and they correlate that shit with Jesus' birthday, and like the secrecy of that shit, the symbolism of all the colorful lights alone. Like, you gotta, I don't want to fuck anybody's fucking, if you don't want to know about it, and you want to just keep, you know, saying Christmas is a good day and shit like that. You know, I don't want to take that from nobody and shit. Whatever fucking joys and all that shit you have. But, you know, when you can actually correlate the Jesus' birthday with Christmas, and just all the fucking, you know, Santa is really Satan. Fucking, just the words are fucking scrambled. But, you know, the very same letters, the same amount of every single letter in that name, no more, no less. You know, you can switch that name right into Satan. So it's just like the secrecy of all the fucking, and for us to still go along with it and say, oh, to be in the know of it, like, just to be in the know of it. Like, there are people that actually know the real meaning behind Christmas, the real story behind Christmas, the real Santa's, the whole legacy of the real Santa, the Santa before the Santa they made up. You know what he used to do, is fucking jump down the chimney and molest kids and shit. Like, you know, for people to actually know that and then say, oh, well, I know that, I just celebrate it. I celebrate it for the good. I celebrate it for family and shit. And it's not no one's fault, man. It's just been indoctrinated by America. Indoctrinated by a bunch of fucking, you know, the deception of our fucking country is just, The deception of this fucking country alone. All the hidden magic spells, everything is fucking hidden. Even so much to the point they have you fucking performing in their rituals, whether and you don't even know you're participating in their rituals and shit, because they decorate it as good and for the family and shit like that. That's America, though. So for the shit that happens to us as targeted individuals and shit, it's really not a surprise, man. Once you think of the real fucking the whole history of America, and I know it's not just going on in America, but a lot of us are fucking, even myself at times, like, are fucking just dumbfounded by what's going on with us, and we wonder how this shit could be going on and shit. And like, we totally disregard everything that we know of America. Like, we know America is like literally the fucking thumbnail of fucking the worst of the worst, and all the crazy and fucked up shit they do. So, this shit that they're doing on us should really be no fucking surprise. Yet, it's still a fucking surprise, man. Because it's something that you think would never happen to you. Like, this could never happen to me. This is crazy. That's why when you driving down the street, now every now and then, you'll see somebody on their phone texting and shit while they're fucking driving. And that's one of those people. It'll never happen to me. It'll never fucking happen to me. No matter how many times they almost got into car crashes. No matter how many times they had to look up and almost instantly fucking fly out their fucking dash because they hit the brakes so hard so they didn't smack into the back of that fucking truck or that fucking car. No matter how many times they go through that, they still have that fucked up thought in their head that it'll never happen to me. And you know what? As soon as they're done grocery shopping and loading the fucking car with the groceries or fucking picking up the children from fucking school, they'll get right back on their fucking phone and start texting and shit. It'll never happen. And that's the way this fucking program works, man. Just that it'll never happen to me. That's enough to fuck you up for a lifetime. Wondering and trying to find out why the fuck this shit is happening to you. Why these people would do it to you. Who did it to me? Why are they doing it? To the point you drive yourself crazy trying to figure that shit out. So for any of you guys who aren't targeted and you hear our stories, try and skip that who did it to me, why they do it to me. Just know that it's going on. And who did it to you, why they're doing it to you. At this point, that's not the important thing. Because those people don't even count. Like, those people, those people should, if you were to find out, those are the people that should never, ever in your life mean anything to you again. I don't care if it's your fucking mom. I don't care if it's your sister, your brother, anybody, your fucking wife. If they put you in this program, that's a person you don't ever want to be a part of in your fucking life again. You don't want that person in your life again. Because eventually, you're going to die around that person. or around something that person did or said or fucking put you in a situation. That person has no feelings for you. That person doesn't care about you. So that person isn't important. The important thing is surviving this fucking program and knowing that you're not crazy and trying to fucking learn everything you can about fucking your psychology. And since just like, maybe not everything, but shit like sensitization and, triggers and shit like that. Really try and learn about that shit. Learn about how you feel. The certain things they throw in your direction that make you feel a certain way. Try and learn about that shit as much as you can. Because 9 times out of 10, they're going to get away with it. So, the best thing you can do is strategize on keeping yourself safe and mentally sane. Conscience and neural into their AI. Yeah, there's so much shit with this, man. This program is pretty much everything for them, man. It's a big money maker. We're hooked up to their devices, their fucking VR devices, their black dark webs, and your house is fucking set up like like those reality shows and shit. They got cameras and shit all in your bathrooms and your house and shit, and people are fucking watching you like a reality show. Whether you're taking a shit, you're having relations with your spouse, like your whole life is being fucking broadcasted. And then you got these fucking perverts and shit that, tell you what they saw. Oh, we saw Jim and his wife having sex. Yeah. And you get the fucking, it's a psychological fuck. You're like, what? How the fuck did these people, are these fucking people spying on me? They got cameras in my house, and man. God bless the child that can hold their own, they say, huh? Oh, man. Go to the store, get some.
You ain't even hit, boy. You ain't even shit, boy. Posted with a stick, boy. You supposed to let it hit, boy. Supposed to let it rip, boy. I ain't got no sin for him. I'm probably about to pimp for him. Money, I'm a sip for him. You ain't got a hit, boy. You ain't got no 10, boy. Know that I'm a pit, boy. Put him in a pit, boy. That bitch on my head, boy. You broke with it, dick, boy. Try with no whip, boy. Supposed to be a bitch, boy. Girl, take him up top. Shots, they will not stop. I'm fucking with For this paper shit, can't get this my shit. Before we slide on the op, we put the op, bitch.
Sorry about the language you got. Suck a beat. Roll close. Roll close. Be right back. I'm gonna grab some coffee. Chill out, doggy. The weirdos that we encounter on the daily. Oh. Fucking goofballs. I should have never said I was getting coffee, man. I should have never said that. Actually, I probably don't need coffee right